And good evening, America. Welcome to the Vinnie Marino podcast. I am live at the Space Coast Modernized Podcast Studios right here in sunny Suntree, Florida. So I want to welcome everybody. That's the few that are joining me and the few and many that will watch on a later date. My partner in crime, AJ, he didn't make it tonight. He is on the road, so he is not going to be here tonight. So I have an empty chair, which means I have one extra drink. I brought 3, and I only have 2 people here. So producer Jesse's going to join in. He's got the I got some of these fancy White Claws. I'm going to find out what the hype is about White Claws because I've never really had them. And people boast about them. I see everybody drinking White Claws. You know, I guess it's a new fucking dietary drink that they can feel like they can drink and only get in 100 calories. But little they know, how many calories does a Mick Ultra have? Like 90? Some of them have like the Ultra. It's like drinking piss water. The Ultra Gold.
That's so bad.
It's like 90 calories. So
bad.
So I'm going to crack a seal on this. 2 carbs. 100 calories, natural flavors, gluten-free for all you gluten freaks. This is a gluten-free drink, so I'm going to snap it open. The flavor of the day for me is ruby grapefruit. So I had to make sure that I had these in the refrigerator at my house, and my kid did not drink them because he just goes in there and starts picking shit out and doesn't pay attention to what it is, and he sees seltzer, and the can looks pretty cool. He'll drink it. So I had to make sure that he knew that they were alcohol. It's 100 calories, 5% alcohol. How is that? Yeah. What's your name there, producer Jesse? Is that a lot? 5% alcohol?
No, that's like a typical light beer.
Spiked sparkling water. So let me give it a shot. It's all right. I mean, I guess people when they go out and they want to eat a burger and fries and then drink a White Claw.
Yeah.
Like they go to McDonald's, they order a Whopper or what do they call a Big Mac, large fry, filet of fish, and give me a Diet Coke. So, because people say they like the taste of Diet Coke. I think the taste of Diet Coke sucks. It's horrible. Yeah, even Coke Zero. I have to have a little bit of a spritzer like the Coke Zero cherry. But people say that the diet soda is worse than regular soda. So I was like, well, okay, so we'll see. But anyways, tonight we're going to talk about just a bunch of random stuff, as always. I got a few topics that I'm going to touch on that I'll indulge a little bit more involved with time, and we'll see how that goes. But I was telling a few people that I know that I was on my way home one day from the Merritt Island area. So I take a shortcut to beat lights out, and I went through some of the HUD housing, Section 8 housing. And I just thought about it. I was driving through, like, oh, damn. There's a lot of freaking nice cars in these driveways of these houses. So I'm like, I don't know if it's free or reduced pricing or whatever it is, but do they ever go around and check these people and say, hey, you're driving a brand new, I'm not shitting you. These people were driving brand new car, Nissans, Hondas, pickup trucks, and I'm going, oh, wow. Is the system that laxed where people are taking advantage of the system so bad? And we're talking, I haven't heard a hype about food stamps, but so bad. Food stamps, another one, handicap parking, decals that they're being issued.
Wow.
I'm not shitting you, man. It's like this, man. You see these people, and you don't know what their illness is, but when you say you need a handicap spot, you figure the person can't what? Walk? Right?
Right.
Not they walk. Oh, well, I have diabetes, so I have to have a. What the fuck does that have to do with parking up front? So I'm telling you, these people are going crazy with these handicap spots, and there's not enough of them because they're all now. What I love is they come up and they go, hey, where's handicap parking? Well, we don't have any, or it's filled up, and they expect special privileges because they throw out the disability card. But you look at these people. And you wonder, are they really decrepit, or are they just they know a doctor and the doctor gives out those things like they used to give out Oxycontins and stuff, So those handicap I want to get one.
Oh,
because
you could walk. You don't need one.
But I've never seen, I'm telling you, a huge percentage. Now, I know they have illnesses, but what's the criteria to get a handicap sticker? It doesn't. They're issuing them things like candy. And it's like anything. The government never follows up with these people. You can go to court, okay, and you can have a shitload of money in your bank, and you can go to court, and you get arrested, so you have to go to court, and you go in, and you say, I need a public pretender, a public defender, okay? Okay, they need to fill out this piece of paper, and they fill it out, and they have to, raise, you swear at everything in there is the truth. Of course they do. And they put zeros on everything. So you mean to tell me nobody checks that to see if they have money? They give them a free attorney. Well, it's not free. It's like $50 or $100. So, but nobody verifies, nobody validates these people's needs. And I go on weird rants about certain shit. But it's like the Fast Pass at these theme parks. It used to be the greatest thing. You used to get a Fast Pass, and man, you'd be flying. Boom, wow. But now everybody's getting a Fast Pass. So the fucking Fast Pass ain't no better than the Slow Pass. Okay? And while we're on that, let's talk. Well, they get in these lines, and let's talk about where I'm getting at is the TSA pre-check. Okay? I did the TSA pre-check like maybe a year ago. It was like $80 maybe for 5 years. 5 years. I've never used it yet, but I swear it. One time I do use it and it works out, it's going to go great. But the problem is it's so inexpensive that so many people are buying them. Mm-hmm. So I haven't been to the airport. I've dropped people off there, but I have not asked if you have TSA pre-check, is the line long? I hear the line's getting backed up there too because everybody's getting it. So
yeah, when everybody has it, it's not so exclusive anymore.
No. So make it more money. And Julie chimed in about the service animals. Hell yeah. Man, come on. These fucking, who's the worst? Walmart. Go to Walmart. I seen a guy in there with a Doberman Pinscher. And he had a collar on it and it said service animal.
Oh, jeez.
Fucking dog was not even obedient. I'm like, come on. Everybody just goes out there and starts, throwing tags on their dogs. And I love dogs, man. I love them. Okay? But people take advantage of that stuff. And then when a business tries to come down on them, they start saying, oh, well, you can't ask questions. Well, yes, the business can ask some questions. They can ask is that a service dog? But they tie their hands. And if you got a real vocal, and it's usually the old people, they want to bring their Fifi, the little poodle with them wherever they go. And they ask them and then they get pissed off. But if you are legit, you wouldn't get pissed off. Am I right?
I think so, yeah.
And you would say, yes, this is a service dog, and you can answer that. And yes, does he perform a certain task?
Right.
If you fall out, what does he do? Lift his leg and piss on you if you're falling out? A lot of people have them. And do you know that emotional support dogs, they don't fall under the protection of the Disability Act.
Right.
They don't. So these people come on, my little Chihuahua is a service dog. Jesus.
Highly unlikely.
Yeah. So they Lowe's is cool, man, because Lowe's lumber, the lumber store.
Yeah, I bring my dad, my dog to the
and Lowe's. Yeah, and they allow all dogs, just like they allow them in all Lowe's hotel. I'm assuming it's the same company, right?
No, it can't be. No, Lowe's hotels are LOEWS.
Oh, it's not the same? Well, they allow dogs too.
Okay,
they're
cool.
very pet friendly. They charge a shit out of a cleanup. So I got a few people chimed in already. Hey, Julie. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Karen. Hey, what's up? Good luck on your event coming up this week. I know Michelle's going to be helping you out. She's going to be volunteering. I got some arrangements that day, so I cannot be available. Sorry about that. That is the the poker run.
The poker run.
Yeah, the poker run, and I'm telling you, it's all 100%. What do they call that? What is it?
It's a nonprofit.
Nonprofit.
So it's a fundraiser.
That's right.
Yeah.
I can't get it out sometimes. I had one sip of this 5% alcohol ruby grapefruit.
Lightweight.
Yeah. Hey, we're not drinking dirty ore stuff because I'm cheap and I don't like beer too much, but this is kind of tasty stuff. But enough with that. I mean, people just take advantage of all kinds of shit. You know what I also wanted to touch on? And I got a lot of things to touch on, so I'm just going to be going and going and going. Is when you're driving down the road in your car. Okay, we all do that. Probably most of the times we drive in cars. And what I've been noticing is these friggin' shitbox trucks that haul shit, like sand. And it's happened now, like it happened today, going on 528, a goddamn truck with a trailer hauling them little pebbles or whatever it was, shooting pebbles all over the fucking road, and your car's getting pelted by little rocks.
The worst.
I'm telling you.
I can't stand that.
Fucking people get away from them, and they need to fix that, man. That is a tragedy, because I was like dying to get away from that truck, and my car is getting pelted by rocks. No. And I drove by that guy, and I stuck my finger out of the sunroof at him. I said, "Son," he probably didn't know what I was talking about, but it's like, come on, man.
You can't be oblivious, though.
And they could be cited for that, for dropping, dumping, unsecuring a load, man. You can't do that, man. You can't ride around on the road with a flat tire and on the rim. But there's certain things that I do when I'm driving, and I stay away from vehicles that have like trailers with shit hanging on it, ladders and stuff. If you're following behind that, people, get away from it. I picture a freaking ladder coming through, or so if you're driving, these are tips for Vinny's driving tips, man. If you're driving down the road and you got this goddamn truck in front of you, just get away from it, man, because that is a tragedy waiting to happen. And those semis, man, don't stay behind them. Don't get in their blind spot. And they drive on tires that are their tires on their trailers and shit. Those are like retreads. So if you ever go down the road and you see they look like alligators laying on the side of the road, that's their damn tread that flung off the damn car.
Oh, my goodness.
Their trailer. Yeah, they got all them retreads. So let me tell you something. You follow behind one of those, and one of those damn treads come flying off, it'll fuck your car up.
Oh, yeah. Alligator skins are no joke.
I seen it one time when I was working up at the port. A lady pulled in with a freaking big tire rubber like that stuck in her dashboard, in her grill. Couldn't get it out.
Oh, geez.
I mean, we literally had to fight to get that thing out of there, man. It was all up under the car, and what a bunch of shit. But you know what pisses me off when I'm going down the road, man? When you're like trying to get around a car, right? You got two cars and one's like speeding up. So you go, all right, let me get in that lane, right? You get behind him. Then he slows down and the other guy speeds up. And I think it's a fucking conspiracy because they see the guy trying to get around him.
Road hogs, yeah.
Yeah, but then they speed up and you're like, for fucking, I've done that like for miles. I'm trying to get around two cars. Can you drive alongside a car on a highway, or would you kind of like, all right, I'm going to slow down? I wouldn't side by side a guy. To me, I think I'm going to get sniped.
Well, the left lane is for passing.
Yeah.
So if you're not passing and you're going the same speed limit or the same speed as the guy in the right-hand lane, then you're supposed to like just yield, get in behind him, or just quickly get in front of him and then coast the same speed. The travel lane.
Yeah.
The left lane is
and you can be cited for that shit.
Passing. And you should. It's against Florida law.
I'm telling you, man. And you get, I've done that before. So I'm patient. I'm like sitting behind them. I'm like, all right, hopefully they'll move over. Nope. You go around them. It's usually a young person, and they're fucking distracted or on their phone or doing whatever.
Yeah, that's the worst.
And they just don't move up. They have no clue. They don't. I don't know who teaches these people how to drive. So when driving, if you're in the left lane and you're not passing, or you are passing, move over. I mean, if you're doing, I'm not saying you're doing 90, stay in the, if you're passing cars continuously, stay in the left lane. But if you're just go along and you're like side by side with another car, I tell you, I can't even, just because I'm nervous, I can't drive down the road and have a car sitting next to me riding the same. I'm like, what the fuck? Why? Somebody's got to give, man. You can't, what I mean? It's weird, a weird feeling. Do you get a weird feeling when you drive and somebody's like right alongside you?
The worst is when you're in the right lane, coasting along, and the guy decides to do this, what I call an accordion. He speeds up, slows down, he speeds up, and then I just want to get away from him. I get in the left-hand lane, and then they speed up alongside me.
Fucking I'm
to
telling
avoid
you,
getting past.
That's,
yeah.
Hey,
road rage is a real thing.
PJ, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm going to call you. PJ, producer Jess. PJ, that's what I'm talking about. I can't stand that, man.
It's so bad.
So use those cautionary things, man. And that's just one of those things about driving, man. I try to do, the speed limit always, and try to maintain. But be cautious when you drive, man. Wear your seatbelts. It's common sense. Some people say, "Oh, I don't wear a seatbelt because last time I was in an accident, that nearly killed me." Would you wear it around your neck? You wrapped it around me? Come on.
Right.
A seatbelt is not ever going to, oh, my goodness. So I was also talking about, I got a lot of things I was talking about. This vaping thing.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's some bad shit, man. You're better off smoking cigarettes.
Well,
you live longer. The vaping just came out, and these fucking people are dying already.
Yeah, and with no animal testing or any other guinea pig.
Did you see?
Guess what? The humans are the guinea pigs. Your customers, you are your.
Yeah. How do you get a rat to vape to test it?
They're not.
Yeah, they blow. They do a shotgun with them.
I guess so. Yeah, maybe blowing smoke in their face for a continuous amount of time.
Well, they say like at least 12 people have died, and 805 had suffered lung injuries from vaping.
But I heard it's also black market, like refill, not the store.
I don't give it, dude. What is in the shit that there is sold over the store? There's clouds of smoke. I see these people. It's like the new hype thing, man. And they got all these flavors, cotton candy and whatever. But blueberry and they have this one guy I know, man.
Toasted almond.
He had boysen or the one that they had on the wizard on Willy Wonka. Snozberries. No shit, snozberry flavor.
That's awesome.
I mean, and then he sucks it up. He's got this customized machine fucking thing, and he sucks it up, and it blows out so much smoke. I mean, dude, it looks like a fire. Okay? Now, all that shit, whether it's good, whether it's organic, it goes into your lungs. And these people are dying from that. They got that popcorn lung. What is wrong? And you know what? People don't give a shit. You could tell them all day long.
Sometimes you wonder. Sometimes, I wonder what we could get away with,
Well, I wish they would find something that would make your penis grow because I'd invest in that shit. They don't give anything that's positive. It's always a negative spin,
Right.
Vaping's going to kill you. Cigarettes going to kill you. Cholesterol. Man, give me something positive in this world, man, about something that, that you can take and make it better,
If you like nicotine, be a man and enjoy a cigar.
Yeah. But this vaping, dude, is out of control. Kids are doing it.
Bad.
And so many more people. Now they're banning them in a lot of states. They're starting to ban. They say that vaping is now have rose to 17 deaths.
Wow. It must be something dirty out there.
You think it's all black market vaping stuff?
I don't know. I think a lot of the opioid deaths are also from like fentanyl.
Michelle chimed into that. It's called Viagra. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, the little blue pill, and that was derived from. I think it was like years ago. The doctors were looking for something that control for their heart, so they give it to these people, and they said, "My heart sucks, but my dick is hard." And they're saying, "Holy shit, we got something here." And if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't meant. It wasn't meant for getting erections. But man, those are like man, pop some of those, boy. Woo, Nelly.
Yeah, huh?
So
awesome.
Hey, Jess. So the holidays are coming up. Oh, they said they were used for blood pressure meds. Michelle, the RN.
Yeah,
they were blood pressure meds, and I guess it sent the blood to the wrong the pressure to the wrong muscle.
That's funny.
Damn, man. And they always say that commercial. If you take this and your erection lasts more than 4 hours, seek medical. I'd seek fucking Guinness Book of World Record, man.
Yeah, right.
Shit. Man, could you imagine walking around with a hard on for 4 hours?
I probably wouldn't walk around. I'd probably just stay home.
I mean, if you have a junk the size of an elephant, then you got problems. But, man, could you imagine walking around with or not be able to go down for 4 hours?
That's a long time.
Like those poor dogs that have sex, they get hooked together.
Oh, my goodness.
They get locked up, and it's like, holy shit, that's got to be painful.
Yeah, I think they have barbs on their agendas.
Yeah, I think if you had an erection for 4 hours, I think you'd probably have a heart attack. You won't be able to see. You're blind. Your vision's gone because all your blood flows down in your junk.
Yeah, you probably get dizzy, right?
Lightheaded, I think. Man, they should have a Viagra party, man. See that?
It's called the Villages every weekend.
Oh yeah. So I see that just jumping on that real quick since Jesse mentioned the Villages. President Trump's going to go visit the Villages along with Ron DeSantis, And I just make a note. Hey, Donald Trump, if you're listening, yeah, if you're paying attention right now, don't shake their hands because from what I hear, the Villages is probably the highest STD area
per capita.
Per capita. All them old people, man, they're just having Viagra parties, man. I'll tell you what. Yes.
Yeah, they're swinging. They're doing all kinds of stuff out there. But I heard it's like it's a more than just a community. It's like its own city.
Yeah,
there's like 30,000 or something ridiculous. It's like a full-on city.
Oh yeah, and you know what's weird? Excuse me. I see when they had they had some rally in Orlando. And they had to blow up Trump baby. Remember the Trump baby?
Oh, the
anti-Trump.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people from the Villages there protesting against Trump.
Oh. I wonder why.
I can't tell you. But speaking of Trump, man, enough, man, with this fucking Ukraine. These goddamn people are trying so hard. From day one, this guy's been harassed and accused and this whistleblower now, this mysterious whistleblower.
It's the worst thing ever. Before we used to know all of our whistleblowers.
Yeah. And you know who the whistle, and it goes to when I always used to say they.
Right.
They. Who the fuck are they? If we find out who they are, we will solve America's problems because it goes everywhere. Everybody had somebody that told them, well, if you ask them a question, they go, well, they told me. Right. They said this. Who the hell is they? Who's they? Sometimes when I do things and I ask people, how'd you get over here? Well, they told me to come here. Who's they? Oh, that person over there. Never identified.
Right.
It's a mystery. The man behind the curtain is a they.
Yeah, it must be nice to be so vague and not have to provide your sources.
And that's what they do. That's what they do. They go out there and they're instead of just sucking it up going, hey, man, that deputy over there or that person over there said to do this. No, they go, well, they said. They don't want it because they're lying.
Right.
They act stupid.
It's made up.
Yeah. They doesn't exist. Just like they is the whistleblower. They is the ones who heard Trump's conversation. They. Anyways, so before I get to my long topics, I'm going to touch on, I was just getting into stores. I went to Lowe's last week, and I'm surprised that these stores are still, they waited this long to get Christmas stuff out. I'm surprised it wasn't out 2 months ago.
Well, we had Dorian and a couple other.
Okay, so this is the time of year that everybody goes, oh, I love this time of year. This time of year is so fun. I love the weather.
Hey, I'm one of those guys.
Well, you know what? Because everybody gets happy. You
right.
know, it's like a dog's nose is cold. They're happy. But this is the time that everybody becomes happy and no longer dickheads and no longer short-tempered. And now they all want to go, oh, happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, happy New Year, happy Christmas. Fuck. If we can only do that 12 months out of the year instead of the few months that everybody gets their nose wet.
Right.
They get the little cold nose, So, there's already Christmas shit out. They just fucked Halloween because they just trumped Halloween.
Oh, they skipped right over it.
Ugh. Thanksgiving, poor Thanksgiving, done. And you know what? It's the biggest money market of the year, What is Christmas? Greatest time of the year, the money market. They're making.
It's an industry, yeah.
I think the biggest revenue is probably Christmas. What do you think, Christmas? I don't know. Halloween does pretty damn good.
No. Candy sales for Halloween.
And costumes, like 300% markup on that shit. They're right in line with furniture sales. Furniture's marked up, and jewelry, like 300%. And you get these fucking Halloween costumes, man, and they last maybe one outfit, and then I'll tell you, be careful what you buy for a mask because you can't see out of the damn things.
Oh, and they get sweaty and
and then you go. How many parties you go to? Which we're going to one, and excuse me, and you come in a costume, and then you're only wearing it for like 15 minutes, and you take it off. You take the mask off. You know what I mean? It becomes a pain in the ass. You can't drink with it, depending on what you are.
Right. You got maybe use a straw.
And even with kids. Kids, they go trick or treating. They don't even wear these kids are getting really shitty these years, man. Back when I was a kid, they come up now. They carry pillowcases. They don't even wear a costume. They're just running around, and I'm like, God dang! Just the little bitty kids are the ones that are cute.
Yeah, no effort.
No effort in how. So you got it goes from the little bitty kids to the adults. That's where you get the creativeness and everything else. The middle-aged kids, they give two shits. They just want candy, and they run around. and jeans, a T-shirt, and you say, "What are you?" And like, "Oh, I don't know, nothing." They're just sarcastic, but
Yeah.
So we got Halloween coming up. Then we got Thanksgiving. I do love this time of year because you can already sense it in the air. The temperature,
I love
the
it.
way the mood is, and I like it, man. I like it. I hope I have a good one this year. I hope so.
Well, I think it starts with football.
Yeah,
football. People love the football.
I'm glad we don't have the controversy with the kneeling fuckers because that did cause a lot of havoc with people who love football but were more loyal to the country than they were the goddamn football players.
Yeah, don't mess with our flag.
That's right, man. Amen to that, man. So that was so we got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas coming up. Christmas is, probably be hot, probably be at the beach on Christmas, Then you got New Year's, and then we're back to January 2nd. All the assholes' attitudes coming back.
Oh,
What happened to you a week ago? And it was like, oh, thank you. Oh, excuse me. Let me hold the door for you. Oh, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Everybody's happy. Right. Everybody's nose is wet and cold.
Yeah.
Okay? The day after fucking New Year's, man, they are assholes again. We're back to the old, Ebenezer Scrooge, cussing at people and everything else, man. So yeah, that's that's a couple of rants that I wanted to touch on about things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a really short break, and then I'm going to come back with a couple topics that I'm going to just indulge a little bit on, the do's and don'ts of starting a small business because I know because I went through all of it. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Don't go away. It'll just be a friggin' minute.
You're listening to Space Coast Podcast, home of the greatest podcasts on the Space Coast. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or having your own show, email us at spacecoastpodcast@hotmail.com.
Space Coast Podcast.
Talk hard!
Hey, this is Trisha Schmalhofer, hostess of BAM, Badasses, Alchemists, and Mystics. This podcast is all about seeking knowledge, talking to experts, changing perspectives, channeling wisdom, and shifting consciousness. Listen as we invite a different badass guest each time from a variety of career fields who are living their purpose, spreading light, giving strength and hope, and changing lives every day. We stream live on Facebook, so like our page, interact with us, and watch the behind-the-scenes action. Find BAM, Badasses, Alchemists, and Mystics on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts under Space Coast Podcast Network. BAM!
Yes! White Claw Hard Seltzer, sponsored by White Claw Hard Seltzer for 5% of alcohol for 100 calories, 2 carbs, gluten-free. Well, tonight's show is going to be sponsored by Q Limo. How you like that? Q Limo.
Love Q Limo.
For all your luxury car needs. So we're back, and I'm going to talk about the do's and don'ts of starting a small business because some of you that follow me know that I've been talking for quite a while and doing a small business just to motivate my time from being, depressed doing nothing when everybody else was working, having a normal life. And so I decided, all right, I'm going to start me a business, man. And I'll tell you what, you can listen to me now, but don't listen to me before if I say, because I tell you, I started it ass backwards from the day freaking one. Day one, I was ass backwards. I did day one what I should have did on the final day. Does that make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
But for example, what'd you do?
Oh, I thought you were going to say something further than that.
No.
For example, okay, so I wanted to start a small business. Okay, and my business was going to be, as you see on the screen, you probably seen on the break, the vehicle that I have and everything. So I said, all right, I'm going to do a different concept that nobody really has. Everybody has, a driving business, but I want a different concept. Okay. And what you get with my concept is, you get a very high-end luxury sedan. It's not an SUV. It's more personal for, a couple that's going to an airport, a couple that's going to a cruise ship, a couple that wants going to an event, a night out on the town. I offer different packages and stuff. So I said, all right. The vehicle, I was going to get a vehicle was going to have, equipped with first aid stuff. I installed an automated external defibrillator in the car. These are things that nobody has. I offer, snacks. This is all my vision. Okay. So the big crux of the case is the car. Okay. You need a car to do it, right? So instead of, I'm kind of going to, I don't know if I can't be chronological, so it's going to go jumping all around, but it'll make sense at the end. So I needed a car. And, I go balls to the wall when I want to do something. I do it my way, and I listen to people, and sometimes I take their advice, and sometimes I don't. And in this instance, I just did it on my own because I was tired of waiting. And I didn't know how to do a business. I didn't know how to start a business. I knew the first fucking clue. And if I asked one person, they had their opinion. And if I asked another person, it was different than the first person. So I kind of did what I did. So I went out and I bought the car. Okay, so I bought the car. Now I got the car. Boom, there we go. Got the car. Then I started, dabbling with, thinking about advertising and stuff. And I had no clue what needed to be done. And so people were giving me some guidance. So I purchased a car. Then I purchased all my first aid stuff. Then I purchased my defibrillator, which was, like almost $1,000. Wow. And I got first aid stuff, Then I got all kinds of supplies. And then they said, well, hey, you gotta get an LLC if you want to be legitimate, which I want to be legitimate. So I went and I applied for my LLC. Once I did that, it was waiting. And, I have a hyphenated last name, which is going to be the death of me one day because that goddamn last name is just, is like I said, it's going to be the death of me. I'm a poor kid, going through school with that long-ass name. So I applied for the LLC. Then I applied for, I went to the bank and I was going to open up a business account. Well, they said, well, you got to have your tax ID. And I'm like, oh, shit. So then I had to go and get on the irs.gov, and I applied for a tax ID, which is pretty simple. I got my ID number within minutes after completing and it's free of charge. So I got my tax ID. I got my LLC in the works, and I was waiting for the LLC, and I'm starting to get people calling me about, because again, I'm putting myself out there, and I have not shit done yet, to solidify. Then I go, oh shit, now I got to go and get insurance. Not insurance, add it to my policy. So I'm like, fuck, I'm like spinning in the mud here, man. So I go to my insurance company, and I'm like, before I even know what they're going to tell me, I'm thinking, shit, what if they tell me it's this much, and I'm like really going to get screwed on insurance because now the vehicle's going to be used for passenger, not just neighbors. It's going to be a vehicle for hire.
Yeah, commercial.
Yep. So I told them what I was doing, and they set me up with an addition to my policy, which was nominal. It wasn't bad, man. I was surprised at all. So I said, all right, cool. That's what I need. They said, yep, that's what you need. So I got that. So, okay. So I got the car. Now I'm good with the insurance. I'm still pending the LLC, and I got my tax ID. So I go to the bank, and I said, hey, I want to open up a business account. They said, okay, you got your tax ID? I said, yep. So I show them the tax ID. They tried to pull me up on the SunBiz, where it shows your LLC, and she says, well, we don't see anything on there yet. I'm like, oh, fuck. They said, you can't do it until you have that. So I said, okay. They said, well, make sure when you do, you have the title listed as member or manager. I said, well, I already submitted it, so I don't know what it says. I think it says authorized representative, which that's like the guy who's in charge of everything, filing and everything else. So if you're a one-man band, you want to be the authorized representative. Then the authorized representative can assign a manager and a member to do certain things for the business. So I'm waiting, and then I'm like, it's going like 7-8 days, and PJ here was helping me out with it. And at the time, we thought it was like three days, But, they said it usually takes 3 to 4 days. Used to be.
Right.
But everybody's applying. So they, I applied for like on the 17th, and we're already into the, almost in October. And they said, well, we're now just getting to the 17th. So I'm waiting. And then I got business cards going, and I got, things flying, And then they send me an email, said, hey, we got your application, and it was denied. So I said, oh, shit, because of that goddamn hyphenated name. One part said Vincent Marino Vitani, and the other part said Vincent Marino, the authorized signature. So they didn't get it, but I understand their policy. So I said, oh, now what happens? She goes, well, you're going to get put back into queue, and you'll be another 7 to 8 days. I'm like, God dang, man. I got people want to book a ride, man. I want to be legitimate. So she says, well, let me see what was your, they give you like a number, like a transaction number or something. So she said, hey, it was just a name change. I'll go ahead and set it through. So I got that. So then I got my car first, which was backwards. I did my LLC next, which was backwards. I did my tax ID number, which was backwards. I did my insurance, which was backwards. I got my cards, which was, that was kind of, I should have set everything up. And I'm going to tell everybody how it should have went. So now I'm setting up my PayPal, so now I could do credit cards,
yeah.
To make it convenient for people. And then I got my webpage. My brother, he helped me out. We went on and we secured a domain. It's called qlimofl.com. So if you hit on qlimofl.com, it'll pull up my website. It's still under construction, but it's pretty legit. I want to do some tweaking on it. But also, my Facebook page, I got, QLimo on my Facebook. So if you hit QLimo on Facebook, which I invited almost everybody that I know, you can go on there. You can book an appointment. It'll send me messages, and we can communicate, and we can set up stuff. So these are all things that, it's like a recipe. You can't put a box of dough or powder in an oven and expect to make cookies. You gotta put shit in there, which gets the mix. So what I should have did, and this is what I should have did, and I know now, okay, and it was a work in progress, and so I should have said, okay, I want to start a business. This is the way it should have been. Mm-hmm. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jesse, but I think I know exactly all mistakes, and they weren't mistakes. It was just a learning error.
Lessons to be learned. Right?
Lessons to be learned. Okay, so at a ripe young age of 35 that I am, you got you're still learning.
Love it.
So my dream was, to open a business. So I said, okay, so first thing I should have did was incorporate a business name. Okay, what do I want to name my business? I want to name it QLimo. Okay, so I should have got the name, got the domain set. Then I should have applied for an LLC.
Right. You got to make sure the name isn't already taken.
Right. First, you got to make sure the name is already taken. Right. We knew that. We knew that already from the beginning because I searched that. Then you get your tax ID because that takes instantaneously. The LLC takes like 7 to 8 business days to do. So then I got my tax ID. I should have, secure the name, get the tax ID, get the LLC, going to get all that, open up a business account, get everything done, and then, get the insurance or women, and then buy the freaking car under the business name.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I did everything ass backwards. I'm going to be the first to admit I did it ass back. I know how to run a business. Well, I know how to be a business. I know how to treat people and provide them with a service. Okay? Because the service that I offer is bar none. I'm telling you right now, you can't compete with it, man. Nobody in this county has that car that is used for, it ain't a stretch limo. Some people don't want a stretch limo. Some people want to be more discreet and have a nice sedan with a first responder as your driver. Safe, secure. Everybody knows, that, things are going to go good, hopefully, and you're riding luxury, man. And the car's not labeled. It doesn't have stickers on it. Doesn't advertise anybody's business. It's your business. It's your car. It's your ride. So I did everything ass backwards. And I just, what did I just do? Just today, I got my PayPal solidified.
Right.
So I got to go on my QLimo FL.com, and I got to add some stuff where, usually I have a initial. They can book online, or most of the time they send me a message. I get alerted that somebody's requesting. I don't post pricing on there. I want to speak to the person. I just want to find out what their plans are for the evening, and then we'll talk, rates and everything else. And but I'm telling you, man, it's going really good. I had an airport run today. I had one Friday. I had one Sunday. I had one Wednesday. I did some pickups. I got some people inquiring. Hey, Rome wasn't built in a day, man. And then, so we'll see when the business starts requiring, and, some people call and they want 6 to 8 passengers. I try to, that's why I put the car on the website, so they can kind of see. It's not, a limousine, and I explained this once before, a limousine definition is any vehicle that is driven by a chauffeur.
Mm-hmm.
Any vehicle for hire that is driven by a chauffeur. So if you pull up in an F-150 and you got a guy you're paying to drive it, technically an Uber is a limo. He's the chauffeur driver.
By definition, yeah.
By definition. You're not going to get the services that I offer from an Uber.
Never.
And the safety that I offer, because people always go, wow, you got a defibrillator in your car? And they raise their eyes like, what? What for? I'm not trying to be Dr. Gloom, but you know what?
Right.
If you tell me when you're going to have a heart attack, I'll pick you the friggin' lottery numbers,
Yeah.
Nobody knows. And if you're in my car for any period of time, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, could be anything. Who knows? Depends where you're going. And something starts happening, you have an anomaly. If you're in an Uber or a company's limo that the driver is not trained in anything but to drive, he's not. What are they going to do? They're going to stop the car, or they're going to call 911. I got a guy passing out,
and then you'll wait.
And then they'll wait.
Yeah.
And then they'll ask them, "Do you know CPR?" Well, do they know how to do CPR correctly?
Right. So they don't break your sternum.
I got one wise guy in here, my brother. He says, my Uber offers me water and candy. Yeah, okay.
You do better than that.
Yeah, I have a lot more than that. I have toiletries. I have travel toiletries. I have lint brushes. The last couple that I took, guess what? They're on their way to the airport, and they go, oh, shit. We left our neck pillows. Well, guess what Q Limo has in their cars?
Neck pillows.
Neck pillows. Top of the line, thick, juicy neck pillows. 2 of them.
Oh, I know. I've enjoyed one.
So I accommodated them by giving them the neck pillows. Can you believe? And you know what? That was that was the height of their freaking trip. Tell me who's going to offer you that.
No,
Okay?
It won't happen.
I offer, I have a little snack thing that I have mints, gums, protein bars for these enthusiasts,
Yeah.
I have little miniature chip bags. I have Jesse. I have Mike and Ike's. Who's got Mike and Ike's? Nobody's got Mike and Ike's.
No. And
Nobody. I got Tic Tac.
That's superior service right there.
What was that movie? The Little Mermaid? I got Who's-its and What's-its and What's that? Gizmos and gadgets galore. I'm telling you. I have Dramamine, the travel packs. Dramamine, Tylenol, ibuprofen, Scope, little travel toothpaste. I got toothbrushes. I have, what else? I got Rolaids, man. I got these are the things, Jesse, that I think of that nobody offers. And that, you know what? Will people take them? Who knows? But they offered. It's offered.
Right.
And that's the service that Q Limo offers. And my rates are competitive to, a guy who's in a company who's not driving a superior vehicle like mine. So it's all what a person wants. And a person that can recognize, what first-class service is. So somebody's asking if I have Gideon's Bible. No, I don't keep a Bible in the car. I try to keep everything neutral. But, I do offer a really good service. And so speaking of, driving to airports and stuff, did you know, Jess, that starting October 2020, this was the other topic, that they're wanting now to have a real ID. It's called Real ID. And that is, everybody's wondering, what's this little star on your driver's license?
Okay.
So they're issued by the TSA.
So how do you qualify to get that star?
you go get your license. You got to renew your license. You got to go there and tell them you need the updated one. And what I think they do is, I think they do a little bit more extensive, check. Do you have it on yours? You're good to go. Yep. It looks like a little deputy star. And Jess will show it. A little star. If you don't have that, by October 2020, you better have it, or you ain't flying. They say you need to get some other kind of I think if you have a valid passport, that can work, because when you get a passport, they also do some type of screening. You know what I'm saying? They do some type of screening. So they said that you have to meet the new federal security requirements for that. Or you have to have some other form of acceptable ID. And I had a link on there that showed what it was. It was like a birth certificate. But I think they do a little bit of a screening. So if you don't have it, you're not going to be able to go through the checkpoint.
Well, it's either that or a passport.
Well, a valid passport can be expired.
Exactly.
Yeah. So if you have a regular driver's license, you better have a passport that go with it.
Exactly.
You know?
But that's, I mean, if you could have that Real ID driver's license to use instead of a passport, that's okay. I like my passport. I like to get the stamps.
Well, no, you're not going to be able to use that in place of a passport.
Gotcha.
That's just for TSA. It's an enhanced version of a standard driver's license.
So even to fly domestically, you need to have it.
Yes.
Oh,
and it was required by Congress in 2005 following the 9/11 attacks. So I think there's only like 4 states that are only ones that don't have it fully in function yet. Right. And we're one of them. Because we got, I don't know why they, if liberals will be disqualified. My brother says you don't need to have a passport. Well, if you don't have the star in 2020, if you look at their link, you need to have some sort of acceptable ID to go through the airport checkpoint. So, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the requirement. We'll know in 2020. I mean, if you fly a lot, hopefully you have your shit in order. Now, I have the TSA pre-check, and there you don't have to take off your shoes. And I think there's 2 different levels. Well, there's a TSA global one where it's good all over the world. I don't plan on flying all over the world. I plan on just flying, in the continental United States.
Well, the passport is for global travel.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is if you do the TSA pre-check.
Oh, pre-check.
Yeah,
locally.
they do. For a little bit more money, you can get it to be like world for any airport all over the world. But I don't plan on going all over the world. If I do, I'll be on a cruise ship.
Now you're talking.
Yeah. So also, that's another thing I wanted to touch on. The you know what, Jess, something that was shocking to me that occurred out in Dallas. And if people pay attention to news or it's on Facebook, that horrific, horrible. I'm going to call it an accident because it wasn't intentional. The Dallas cop last year. I tell you what, they tried that shit fast. That shit was tried fast.
Well, I guess because there was
holy
few
shit
testimonies.
Would they clear the freaking docket for them to come in and just there's other people in Dallas that are going to court.
Yeah.
They cleared a pathway on this, man.
Yeah, they may have expedited.
Which gets me concerned because, certain cases they're gonna push through. So this girl, and who don't know, it's a young, Dallas police officer. She was working a lot of hours. She was coming home from a midnight shift. And she went into this apartment. She lived in an apartment development. And they have like 4 or 5 different levels.
She picked the wrong floor. Yeah.
She parked on the wrong level. And they said nothing's really marked. And I'll get to this point about, how people, how they change things over somebody's fucking tragedy. So the girl walks up to an apartment that she assumes is hers. It's like in the same location, but it was actually one apartment up. She was on like level 3. The apartment she went into was on level 4. So she goes to put her key in the door, and if the door was locked, she wouldn't have got in.
Sure.
She would realize the key doesn't work. But the door was ajar slightly, so the door opened up.
Which probably freaked her out, and she probably drew a weapon.
Right, which anybody would think, holy, I would do it in my own place, and I know it's my place.
Right.
If my door is ajar, now I got to make sure I lock it because my dog knows how to open the door. So she opens the door and sees a silhouette. And then she gives the guy commands. Show me your hands. She thinks she's in her apartment. Right. Now everybody starts critiquing. Oh, you can't identify. Who knows? Maybe it's one of those apartments you walk in. It's like a hallway.
Right. Really
like
dark.
A narrow little hallway going into the open of the living area. And then the guy, not taking anything away from this guy. He's an innocent person.
Right.
He's going like, hey, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
Now, I don't know if she was identifiable, if she was wearing her full uniform, which I think she was. But he's yelling at her, and she's yelling at him, and then she feels threatened, and she shoots him. Now, now she's facing, murder. She was not arrested immediately, but she called, the 911 called the dispatch, and she was saying, I think she said like maybe, I don't know if it was 100 times or 80 times or 30 times, I went into the wrong apartment. I'm so sorry. I cannot believe this happened. You know what I mean? Right. Apologetic. So they, of course, they want to go into things prior to her getting there. And apparently she was texting her cop boyfriend who I guess they were romantically involved. And no, she wasn't off duty. Nick posted that she was off duty. No, she was in uniform. She just got off work. And because I think they showed a video of her walking on the stair, on the platform. She was in uniform. So they arrest her and they charged her with murder. Not manslaughter. And they have different levels over there. They have some what's called like accidental killing of it by accident or some weird thing. It's almost like manslaughter here.
Well, that's state law.
Well, their laws are a little bit different as far as charging laws.
Gotcha.
They call it a little bit differently than we do. It's the same, but they call it different. We have, culpable negligence. I think it was something that's similar to that. Well, they charge it with murder.
Which is probably most severe.
Only
premeditated murder is probably more
premeditated
severe.
Is in Florida. That's
like death penalty.
That is eligible for the death penalty.
Yeah. Well, they heard it was like it wasn't death penalty for this one, but the sentence could be anywhere from 5 years to life.
Oh, is that what they're saying for murder?
For her for that charge, yeah. I'm not sure with which degree of murder or if that makes a difference.
Well, it just said murder.
Yeah.
We have first, second, third degree. You got manslaughter. But then I was dabbling and listening. I was following up on it, the news reports and stuff, and reading it up on, on Facebook, the reports from the news. Mm-hmm. And I was listening. They had a lot of testimony couldn't be, entered in because, they had a guy who was like a professional psychologist, whatever, and put the mindset and everything else. And it was in her favor, but they wouldn't allow him to say that in front of the jury. So a lot of things were not able to be disclosed in front of the jury. So I thought, and the girl took the stand and she was apologetic. Said she lives every day of her life wishing the roles were reversed.
Yeah. She has just turmoil.
Oh my God, man!
It's so sad.
Cops suffer from an actual threat where they shoot somebody. Just think of an innocent person, and that not getting off topic, but there was that New York cop that got killed just recently. Mm. He was wrestling with a gangbanger, but he was shot with the freaking other friendly fire. The other cop shot him.
Oh, that's so bad.
Apparently, he was yelling, "He's going for my gun!" So I don't know if they were trying to shoot the guy, and they shot the cop. They're the ones who killed him.
So sad.
What the? Holy shit, this poor guy died. And just how those cops feel. And I'm not trying to say they're idiots.
No, but if you shoot one of your own, that's got to be one of the hardest things.
It's an accident. It's a terrible accident. It's a tragedy. And it's not the first time that cop's been killed by friendly fire. So they have this trial for this girl. Okay, so Michelle is saying the door wasn't open, they said. She did use her keys, and the latch was defective, apparently, which allowed her to enter. Well, I know.
Well, that's even more confusing. If your key opens a door.
I know, yeah. Well, a lot of things could be entered, and then they came back with this was the fastest freaking trial I've ever. I was like, holy shit. And then I figured, it's a terrible. Everybody's suffering. Their side,
Right.
her side.
There's no winners.
There's
no winners.
there's no winners in this, man. None. But the jury feels the girl's got to suffer some consequences. And I don't know what the lesser included charges were. If they had like culpable negligence, but I mean it was an accident. So you're gonna put this girl away for a significant amount of time for something that could have happened to anybody. Unfortunately, the man died. So yeah, a guy, Daniel, who's a friend of mine, he's in the Marine Corps. He's saying friendly fire happens all the time in the military, all the time.
Yeah, well, it gets confusing. I heard horrible things from Vietnam accounts. It was
Vietnam shit. Look at it here.
Yeah.
We got to go back to Vietnam. I mean, they've shot down friggin' aircrafts.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of soldiers being killed by friendly fire all the time that we don't even hear about. I mean, but this girl, I mean, and I'm not gonna, I don't even have words, man. If she should. I mean, you did something, you made a mistake, somebody's lost their life, and how much do you think the person should pay for it?
Right. I mean, is it
10 years, 15? No, I don't think so.
You think incarceration is going to teach her a lesson?
Oh my gosh, she's got to live with that every day.
Exactly. I think the best possible sentence should, to mandate that she give classes.
And do I think, Jess, that this was prompted by pressure of the community? Okay, because we all know, when things start coming down to it, where there's riots and there's a fear of backlash, and the jury,
Right.
We're all humans, and they probably knew they probably were in the jury room. I have no clue. This
Right.
is my theory. This is Vinny's theory. They were probably in the jury room saying, dude, if we don't convict this girl, we're fucked.
Yeah.
We are fucked. We're going to have a bodyguard to get us out of here. I'm telling you right now, the community would go up in arms.
Well, you've done court assignment.
Oh, dude, I was a fucking defendant.
Yeah.
I was a goddamn defendant in something that was an accident that somebody died.
Right.
Okay? And they wanted me charged with murder. They wanted me to be charged as a murderer.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
not really
God,
fair.
granted, it was. I'm telling you, it was a similar thing, but it wasn't with a firearm. Okay,
Right.
So the same identical thing, technically. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody died. It
a
wasn't
bad
intentional.
accident.
Yep.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm going. Oh my God! I'm starting to think, I'm a murderer. People are looking at me like a murderer.
Yeah.
It's like I've never been in trouble in my life. And then to be going from 0 to 100 in a matter of seconds, from a upstanding citizen to a murderer.
Right.
Holy shit, man.
That's gotta mess with your head.
Dude, my life was in shambles.
I'm sure.
And when I was going through that, my mother was dying in hospice, and my freaking I was going through a divorce. Dude, my life was at the lowest point ever. And I still have not rebounded from that or recovered from that, and it goes to where, on your Monday shows with Doug and Karen on Survive First, where they talk about, post-traumatic stress disorders,
Right.
Suicide. I've never been to a point where, I felt useless. I definitely go into a very lonely place, and there's been many times that I've always said, I'm going to reach out to Doug. I want to reach out to Doug. And I never fucking did it,
Yeah.
So from that day forward, it's not even the first time. I had an incident in Palm Beach County. And then I had an incident where I had, pulled out dead bodies out of lakes, a little kid. So all those things coming together. And then I'm going, God, I've done good all my life. And then all of a sudden, my life was going upside down. How we got on this morbid topic, but, I always try to be upbeat. But it's reality, people. I
Right.
mean, and when you listen to, Survive on Monday nights, if you listen, I mean, that's real life shit. These no scripts.
No.
And Monday, I didn't get a
that's
chance
pure
to watch it
testimony.
all because my son had a little concert.
Yeah, it was a moving show.
Yes, this is no bullshit, people. Cops go through so much in their lives, and I'm not talking. You got to think of, not only do you got to think of the spouse, but you got to think of the family members, the good friends, the girlfriends, or the single cops. the female cops. How does a female cop get affected? Is it the same way a male cop gets affected? I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk with Doug and Karen. Maybe I'll get on their show one day and I'll be a little bit more G-rated. I respect their show, but they're real. These are real life occurrences. They're not talking from books and reading knowledge. These are firsthand experiences. That, man, because I know what they're talking about. You know, I've been through it.
Yeah, it's not an easy scenario, and any time that someone does get in that predicament, especially law enforcement, unfortunately there is that tension that's kind of been around now. Yeah. So when a community does feel like there's no justice, there's no peace.
No justice, no peace.
They may affect a circumstance. They may
I'm telling you,
threaten the jury.
The community. Listen, man, you're not a robot. We're not robots.
Right.
So leading up to, one day you don't know shit that's going on in this world, and you see this big news thing come out. Then you open up your mailbox, you go, oh, fuck, I'm called for jury duty.
Right.
After you've seen all these news counts, and then they tell you, disregard all that you've seen, and don't worry about it. Don't look at news.
You already have opinions.
Let me ask you this, man. I know we're human beings. You don't have to answer this, but I'm just saying. If you're in court and they say, all right, don't discuss this with anybody, do you think people do? You think they go home and their wife goes, what's going on? I can't tell you. What do you mean you can't tell me? Or husband, the same way.
I'm 100% certain that they're, they talk and they probably get influenced.
We're human beings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, they encourage people not to go to crime scenes, not to do this, not to do that. But people are curious. That's the fucking problem with this world. People's curious. If you tell them, hey, don't touch that, it's hot, they're going to want to just...
The first thing they do is...
Yeah, they want to see if it's hot.
Right.
Don't go in there. They're going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
Because we're curious minds, man.
Yeah.
You can't... We're human beings, and nobody can... I'm not saying everybody's like that. There are some people who are diehards, or, but... so you mean to tell me this whole big ordeal in Dallas was all over the news, it was everywhere, and then you mean to tell me that the jury that gets on there, they don't think of that in the back of their mind?
Yeah, they should have tried it in a different part of the state.
God, but that was, I blame the media half the time. They boasted all over the place.
Well, they come up with their own conclusions. The media thinks they're the
So-
judge and jury
so-
and executioner.
So as human beings, people feel, whoa, if I don't do this, then there's going to be some repercussions.
Yeah.
Whoa. And they don't think about the life that they're putting away. There's clear cases that are, that person needs to be put away.
Yeah, cut and dry.
But, yeah, but then there's the ones that are like, ooh, that's a horrible accident.
Yeah.
It's a horrible mistake. How much do we persecute somebody over a terrible accident?
Yeah. It's a shame all around.
So, well, I hope everybody had a good time on my show tonight. I just kept on going and going, and I want to thank everybody that's listening, everybody that's going to listen to come. Hey, I think it was a good show. I think I got a lot out of my system. I've been venting.
This is healthy.
For the last hour. Yeah, it's good therapy. So people ask me why I do this.
We went through some good stuff.
People ask me why I do this, and everybody that asks me, but Jesse, because Jesse knows why. Jesse wants me here. Yeah, I help Jesse put bread on his table. Jesse's not going to ask me why I want to do this.
No, I know why you do it.
Yeah, damn right. I do it basically as therapy for me. This is my therapy to get out here and just say what I want to say. I try not to. I don't bash anybody. I talk in general of firsthand knowledge, and I love law enforcement. I was with a cop all my life. I support them. I will never disrespect them. But sometimes they make mistakes too.
Yeah.
We all can't be perfect. Judges. Hey, what about doctors cutting the wrong limbs off of people? Oh, for God's sake.
Oh yeah, malpractice.
Yes. Yeah. And now, when you go in for a surgery, they color you like a damn crayon board, man. They mark you all over the place. Yeah. X marks the spot, It's like, geez. So, yeah. Well, I want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight. Tune in next week. I think I should be available. See if we got AJ coming back. I'm going to try to bring on these two dudes on my next show. They're like old dudes, and they got knowledge from like from before Vietnam. They're born in the 30s. These are the funniest son of a bitches you've ever want to meet, man.
Oh, let's do it.
So I want to thank everybody again. Support our country. Support our president. give the guy a break. So tune in
Amen.
next week. Thank you again to Space Coast Podcast for tuning me in live. And watch us on Facebook, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you hear
Absolutely.
podcasts.
Go binge listen to all the shows.
Yeah, Jesse's got a lot of shows on here. If you go on his link, you'll see all the different topics. There's a lot of fun ones, a lot of new ones coming out.
Oh, yeah.
So this BAM one looks pretty interesting.
Growing every day.
I met with her. She was a cool chick.
Yeah. You guys will collaborate soon.
Yeah, she was. She talked about maybe getting me on. I mean, I'll have. She's very unedited, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Thanks again. Have a great week. Peace out.